Okay, we are live. Everybody, welcome to our birthday party. We are a year
Yay.
old, and we had our 330th member for the second time today. Now, I see the confused look on your face. What happens is, and some people have picked up on this and asked about it, I will announce that John Smith is our 325th member. Okay. Then 2 weeks later, I will announce that John Doe is our 225th member. Well, what's happened is between the time that the first 25th member came along, somebody dropped out and we dropped down below 225. So then when another person joins, we have a second 225 because I can't keep track of who's all been in and out. I can only keep the current list. That's all Google records. You know. So that's the reason you may see 330 mentioned 3 or 4 times because people come in, they go out. Some stay a while and drop out. Some register one day and drop out the next. I don't know what we do to offend them, but I'm
Just not their thing.
yeah, I'm not really worried about it either.
Or they expect magic. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I can give them magic, but what I can't give them is instant knowledge. That takes practice and that takes homework. Yeah.
Well,
That's one thing I try to get across to the new people is this is not a 1 hour or a 2 hour thing, and I'm going to know how to learn hangouts. It just doesn't operate that way.
No, it doesn't.
And I think everybody here now knows enough about that to know it doesn't, and they're willing to spend time with new members. All the new members.
Yep, I agree.
I always forget the headset. Always in a rush.
I think Andrew froze up.
Uh-oh.
Are we still good?
I'm good. I can hear you.
Excellent.
Is Andrew froze on your screen?
Sure looks like it.
Yeah, he's on mine too, so that's on his end.
Well, how have you been, John?
I'm pretty good, Lon. How are you?
Doing pretty well.
Well, here we are live at the first birthday party. There's probably millions of people out there wondering.
Well,
I don't think they don't care how you and I are.
probably only 2 million. That's
Well, you never know. I like the thing hanging on your backdrop, Lon. The couple cutout. Right there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the little silhouette.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
something I've been playing with. I put together for some testing with my girlfriend and I. We're going to try to do some book reviews, just between ourselves, just to see how they turned out, and that's the logo I came up with.
I don't know if it's just my screen, Lon, but I can only see 3/4 of your lower third. I see and discuss with Colleen and Lon. I don't see the rest of it.
That's how it starts, and discuss.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe there was more.
Well, normally when you see an ampersand, you would, but...
And see, even on the 1-year anniversary, I'm still learning more.
And I've only been here a couple of months, so I've got a lot to learn.
Oh, so do I.
We all do. We all do. They're changing things again. Yeah. I just like to get a copy of that change list, like a week ahead of time or something, so I'd have a little bit of more.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I don't think Google knows what they're going to change till they change it.
That may be. That may well be. Yeah. I mean, because there's so many moving parts to it, I don't know that anybody knows what part moves when.
Yeah, and I think they say we need to try this, so let's go ahead and we'll call it beta. We just won't let anybody know.
There you go. Yeah.
I had a client a few years back whose brother was the 6th employee at Google when it started. And he's in Italy now, helping manage the European. And he's 45 years old, and she said he's only working now because he loves his work. But basically, he could have retired a long time ago.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because those guys got paid in stock options to start with.
Mm-hmm.
We all want those kind of jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would be neat is to be a starting employee with Microsoft and retire early, and then get a job with Google, and then.
I see Andrea and Michael are here.
Yeah, I've sent them both invitations.
I'm just learning how to do 2 screens here to see what's going on.
Okay. John, are you muted or something? Because I see every once in a while, I don't know whether it's a delay or whether you're actually
Might be
talking.
the delay.
That could be, because I know I was in one earlier this afternoon, and the delay was really, really bad.
Which leads me to believe they're playing with something again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is the end of the day for the West Coast, so maybe things are just getting busy over there.
And you've got weather out in the Great Plains. You got snow, you got wind. And I know right around Thanksgiving time, some of the folks I talked to out in California, I kept losing them because when they had that hurricane come up the coast and they got all that rain around Fresno and whatnot. So,
yeah, that's got to mess with something.
Yeah. But you know, I think everybody here, I won't offend. Oh, did you bring enough for all of us?
I did.
Oh, okay.
It's in the other room.
Oh,
He's got 14 ladies stomping in a barrel out back to make it, right?
Help yourselves.
You know, we're all old enough in this room to remember when internet was dial-up, okay?
Oh, yeah.
And if you stop and think about the technology we're using right now, that would have never been possible with the old ping, ping, ping.
Yep, none of that.
Yeah.
I remember when the first picture came through after I'd been using computers for quite a while in Prodigy services. We were able to finally do pictures. It was kind of looks like how they do pictures on ham radio now, line by line by line. Took forever to draw a single picture on the screen.
Wow. We got our first computer in '88. It was an IBM PS1. It took my wife and I both to carry it in the house. And we had Prodigy on there, and I just remember it was like magic.
It was awesome. Yep.
Yeah.
All text, good discussion groups.
Yep. At Prodigy, we had Prodigy, CompuServe, and I think those were the only 2 we had to start with.
Yeah. Well, actually, there was before Prodigy, and around the time of CompuServe, there was a little thing called PlayNet, which was for the Commodore 64, and that turned into, what was it, Quantum Computer Services, and it was that software that we used as the basis for AOL when it came out.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was on that. I was on CompuServe. I was on PlayNet. PlayNet was weird because you could be on, and then you could have 10 different accounts. And if you knew how to work it right, you didn't have to pay for those 10 accounts. And so I got 10 people, and then they got 10 people, and then one day PlayNet disappeared. I don't know whether we bankrupted them or what happened. You know. Now I saw Michael come in. There he is.
There.
Hello, Michael. I am so glad to see you back, sir.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are you?
Hi, Michael.
Hi, Michael.
I don't know where Andrea went. I sent her an invitation, but I haven't seen her come in.
I am glad to be back as well.
Oh, you couldn't be any more glad to be back than we are to have you. Heather, just in case
That's
you
nice
haven't
of you to
talked.
say anyway, so.
Yeah, I don't know whether you've talked to Heather yet or not, But see, and I took a vote. You have to tell your father you have to stay in the office or work from home. You cannot go out on field trips anymore. That's our executive decision. You know.
Not that sure that he'll cooperate with that, but I appreciate that.
Well, Andrew, maybe you need to make a field trip, go up there and talk to his dad. Okay.
Yeah.
I could do that. I could do that. I mean, what can he do? Fire me?
Yeah.
He could fire Michael.
True.
Oh, that's all right. Heather and I are going to become pimps. We're going to pimp Michael's video services enough to where he can retire from his day job and do nothing but
There you
videos for his friends.
Andrew, you need to be careful because somebody with some really good video editing software may just simply say, take that clip and go, Heather and I have decided to pimp Michael. Okay?
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, well.
Okay, Andrew has not seen the invite.
How about now? Let's see if she does. Tell her to go to the Hangout message box. See if she sees it there.
Okay.
Come here. Come here. Dogs are happy to see me, but they're afraid that I'm going to pick them up.
Oh, there's Mark. Very good. Let me give an invite out to him. I am just so not used to working in this regular Google Hangout thing. I'm so used to Business Hangouts.
Now, whenever I get an invite, it comes in on my phone and on both of my computers, and it's like, where do I answer this at? And I figured out finally it's easiest to just answer it right in my stream. Just find it in there, then go open it from there.
Yeah, when I go get those little Hangout text message box, I've usually got 8 or 9 or 10 tabs open, and it's hiding behind one of them, and I've got 2 separate systems going, and I'm jumping back and forth. Michael does that on occasion, I think, just to frustrate me, because he knows I'll be working on something, and he'll sit in one of those things just to watch me scurrying around and finding it. And see, he's grinning, he's admitting it. I can tell.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I love the lighting you guys have, Lon and John, both of you. I mean, I noticed that you got some new lighting, new backgrounds and stuff like that. It looks really, really much better. It really does, just to let you know.
Thank you.
Thank you. My lighting is courtesy of my wife. I'm still looking at the price tag on it from a yard sale, $3. Okay. It's a stand-up lamp. It comes.
What was that? You said you got your wife from a yard sale? Wait a minute, I missed something there. What did you? I missed for $3. Hold on a second.
There's
But you know,
Okay,
back in
go ahead.
1974, $3 wasn't what it is today.
That's true. That's true.
Now, she was at a yard sale down the block, and she said
That's
it's
awesome.
got one of those spindles on it. It's 2 lights, and it's got one that moves around. And she said, I picked this up for you. It was only $3 because she said, honestly, when I watch your replays, I get tired. She said, I get tired of the glare off your hands.
Okay.
Well, the story of my life.
Yeah.
Welcome, Andrea. You said you had
Hello.
questions.
Thank you.
What can we help you with?
I have a question. How do you find people who are like-minded, people and businesses, in Google?
Do a search.
Communities. Go to a community that you're interested in or of like things. Like if you're a huge Star Trek fan, go to the Star Trek community. If you're a huge photography fan, go to the photography community. That's one of the things that Google Plus over any other platform, I don't care what it is, you can get. That's what's so beautiful about it, is that you can get like people about things that you like. If you like I don't know, like my wife likes Vampire Diaries. She can go onto the community with, you know, all those fans and stuff and talk about things. I love Game of Thrones, so I'll go onto that community and join that community. That, to me, that's the beauty and significance. And you'll find out there's a heck of a lot of people. But that's one major way, I would say, in my opinion, for what it's worth.
Okay,
Yeah.
that sounds good. Well, the purpose is to canvass for experts to interview for my show here.
Yeah, just
Okay.
be careful not to come off as spam is the only thing I would advise you, is just be careful of that.
Yeah.
They, you know, if you do it in the right way, hey, look, I'm starting this show, and I'd love to have some people on as, you know, guest speakers to talk about some, you know, things like that would be a lot better than, you know, trolling and trying to get in and, you know, just really spamming something. That's just my thought.
What's trolling?
Someone that's a troll would be like, we're in this hangout right now, and somebody came into this event and just started putting, like, just comments, just selling something, showing you
That's creepy.
of his insurance company, and he's trying to sell you insurance, and what, you know, that would be a troll.
Okay, good.
Okay,
Good.
here's a good example. Michael's interested in Game of Thrones, okay? So he's in the community of Game of Thrones. But there are several Games of Thrones communities. So he posts the same message in all those different communities. That would be spamming. You don't post the same message in different communities.
Right.
I mean, you can, as long as it's okay. As long as it's okay with the owner and you've got that relationship and they allow that kind of thing, that's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
But he's absolutely right. If you just say, I'm going to send this out to 5 different communities or 10 different communities because that's what I want to do, that's where you're going to get people.
Okay,
That's what he's saying.
It sounds like the best thing to do is to reach out to the moderator of the community then.
You can.
Okay.
Yeah,
You can.
yeah. You can send them a private message and say, "I'd like to post this in your community. You know, do you have any objections?" You know, I do that on some. On some too, I shortcut the moderator and the community. I will see that's posting interesting stuff within the community. I'll send them a completely private post.
Yeah, that's good
You know,
too.
because that way you're only bothering that one person. You're not bothering the community or anybody else, and nobody else knows about the message. And if you know that they're interested in the subject that you are and are a likely candidate,
Yeah.
you know, they appreciate the private contact, actually.
Okay. All right,
Go ahead,
good.
John. John, you were going to say something?
Yeah, some communities, you know, Michael makes a good point about the Game of Thrones. I belong to a number of different business communities, and what I've learned is they all have a different focus to them, and I always look for the communities that are like-minded to me, that I'm going to get the best out of being part of. I just don't join a community to join a community. There's some people that do that and just have this whole great big unmanageable thing. The other thing I was going to say is there are some communities that don't have active moderators. They may have a moderator in name, but they don't have an active one. Because I've been waiting to join a social human resource group for 4 months now. And it still keeps saying, and I have sent the person who's supposed to be the moderator a message and get nothing back. So sometimes people will set communities up and they'll get people in them, and then they kind of lose interest. And if it's like the user-to-user group where you have to be approved to come in, if nobody's there to actively moderate, then you're just kind of hanging in limbo.
Okay. Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah, that's one of the coolest concepts I think that Google ever came out with. It was December 12th, 2 years ago, that they came out with communities, and it's been, I was such a huge fan. It's just, because it's, you know, let's just use Facebook as an example. It's just a thread of a bunch of stuff. Twitter, it's just a thread of a bunch of stuff, and you can follow certain people and go to the, you know, those things and stuff. It's just not quite the same, though, as a community that you wanted to follow or something that you're interested in. I bought a Galaxy S5, I don't know, about 8 months ago. I joined the community in Google immediately. I was learning ticks, and they had tips and tricks. They had all kinds of things so I could learn about and if I had a question, hey, look, I used to be able to do this. Why can't I do this? A lot of people in there would give that information. Now I'm not even a member of it anymore because I got everything I needed out of it. If I need to, I can always go rejoin that community and come back and get some stuff. So that, I'm telling you, it's such a great concept. I'll be real honest with you. And if I did that on Facebook, I'd have, old high school friends. I'm not sure, man. Well, I use iPhone. You get all that crap. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, and not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just that they never liked me then. Why do they like me? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I saw a great quote about Facebook the other day. Facebook is the place where you can keep track of the people who didn't like you in high school.
Yeah, I know them all well. No, apparently, because they keep responding to me or whatever. So,
did you ever notice though with some of those people that if they'll ask you, they'll send you a friend request, and you think, I never got along with them, and they treat you like you're their long lost brother or something. It's going like I just had one recently. There was a guy, and I grew up in Wisconsin, which there's snow off the ground from the 4th of July to Labor Day, but there was a guy who was on our tennis team, okay? And, I mean, he wore the Letterman sweater all the time, and he was a jerk, okay, to everybody, unless you were on the tennis team, okay? Well, all of a sudden, I get this request, and I knew who he was, and he's still wearing his hair the same way he did when we graduated, and I'm just jealous because he has hair, and he is like I'm terrible because I won't turn down anybody unless it's some of those people Andrew and I've talked about who are from another country and want you to send money to Ghana so they can come over to me. Okay?
Yeah. I'm sorry, Rashiki. I'm not going to follow you. Sorry.
And so I accept this guy's friend request, and he is like, "Oh, John, it is so good to reconnect with you." Well, you spit on me when you walk down the hall.
That's right.
That's what he missed us.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right. He misses that. He wanted you to remember that crap.
I did. Andrea, one other thing, you can create your own communities too.
That's what I thought to do, John. Yeah. Thank you for the idea.
If you were talking about interviewing a group of people for your hangout,
yes.
As you interview them, you get 2 or 3 or 4, create a community and invite them to come in so you can keep them abreast of what you're doing, and it also gives them an opportunity to showcase whatever you interviewed them about, so they can do some of their postings and stuff.
Just make sure it's public to do that, though.
Yeah.
What's the difference, guys? What's the difference between your page and your community?
I hate pages. No, I'm just kidding.
Did you play tennis in high school?
Loving the skin you're in. And I decided to create a community called Binge Busters. So they're 2 different things. They're all within the same umbrella, but the people that I'm looking to interview would be more for loving the skin you're in. The coaching is for Binge Busters.
Yeah, here's the deal. Here's my thing, and I'll speak my piece on this, and then I'll let everybody else say whatever they want. In 2011, they started Google Plus in April. In September was the September, I can't even remember, 13th or something like that was the first hangout.
Yeah.
First hangout. It was Black Eyed Peas, and then a month later, the lead singer of Black Eyed Peas is who it was. I can't remember his name, but anyway. Oh, it's Will.i.am. Yeah, Will.i.am. He was the first hangout ever on Google Plus.
Oh my God.
He was the very first one that went live. Hangout on air, I should say. But anyway, so I saw that and I was hooked. And a month later, they decided to come out with pages. You get profile versus page and all this kind of stuff.
Right.
And I had already signed up with a profile and everything, and I made a decision then. I said, you know what? When you get me, you get all of me. Okay.
There's a scary.
Seriously, I mean, and it's true though. I mean, because you're going to get me as an umpire, you're going to get me with all my umpire hangouts, you're going to get me with all my baseball ones that I do with my kids, you're going to get all the ones that I do with, hangouts or user to user, whatever. You're going to get every aspect because people connect with people, and this was such an environment of that. And this is even before Hangouts became big. I said, you're going to get me. You're not going to get a page. I'm not going to do a stinking page. I think they're stupid. And you can't do half the stuff. You know the Hangout message box over there? You don't get one when you're a page. You don't get that because they geared toward people versus business. They made this for people versus business when they first came out with it. Now, they've had to change their tune completely, and they've changed a lot of stuff over that time. And I actually have now a couple pages because I found it easier and better to, like when I do my Little League live broadcast of a baseball game. I could have put that on mine and all that kind of stuff, but it was easier if I had Russ who helped me out. Russ Worthington would come in and help me out, and we could run the page together. So there's things, either one of us. So if I got kicked out, he could keep it going. He becomes the new host. So there's advantages. There was actually advantages to certain situations of why to do a page and why not. Now that page itself on Google Plus, I don't even look at it. I don't even focus on it. I use it for other tools and other reasons. You'd have to talk to somebody that really likes and I get that because when you record an HOA, you want it to go to your business page versus going to your personal account. I understand that's an option for people, and I understand there's value to that. Not for me, though. Like Heather Crafter, who does the Craft Shack. She has a crafted thing. It's great for her to have that page to be able to have that go into her YouTube for Craft Shack. She doesn't want that on Heather Crafter, and I get that, and I understand that. That's an argument that she and I have gotten into over and over. I said, I'm profiles are better, and she's pages are better, so we get into that. But there's uses for each thing. And it just depends on how you want to apply those things. But that's my short, long story about it. So.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that pages are good for some things, but you have to know why you're using it versus using a profile.
I got a question.
Okay.
And I was gonna bring this up tonight anyway because I think I know the answer, but I'm not sure. But it kind of goes into what Michael was talking about. Can you embed your Hangout on your web page?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you wanted, and here's my question because maybe I'm not seeing.
No, not the Hangout. You can the
YouTube video. Right.
YouTube video. Yes, you can.
Right.
Yes, you can.
Then if I can do that.
Not an event, though. Just
right.
So you know. Okay.
Right, I know. That I got. Okay. So I'm doing I'm doing a hangout tomorrow at 10 o'clock on the psychology of resumes. Okay. And I can take that YouTube video and I can embed that on my webpage. Okay. So here's my question. If I can do that, what would be the value of me having a Google Plus page if I can embed what I'm doing on my website?
What would be the benefit of a page versus a profile?
Right.
I don't think it matters. It just matters. It matters where that YouTube video is deposited.
Okay.
If you want to deposit it with your page, then you would start it as a page. If you want to deposit it on your personal account, then you start it with that.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Where it ends up is the key on that one.
Yeah,
okay.
And it would also depend on what you're going to be doing in the Hangout.
Okay, gotcha.
Whether you want somebody that can, in case you get kicked out, or somebody that can control the cameras while you just, do something else. It depends on how the Hangout's going to be used too, whether you use the page versus.
Sure.
Gotcha.
I'll show you real quick. This is business hangouts is a big deal, and I know Andrew does it. He did one the other night, or last night, or whenever, and I couldn't make it. But one of the benefits that Heather does, she started doing business hangouts too because she wanted to she does her hangout right online. It's right on her page. It's right on her website. She goes, it's Crafted Live, and it has the live shows, and you pick one. But then after she's done, like the one she did today, the video treasure chest, she has it there. So you come down here, you open up, go into the Business Hangout. It's going to give you a little window to come into, and then you hit next. Now, right here, you're going to see it's going to give you the live YouTube video right here on the left. It's going to start playing. And then she has all the comments from the show over here too as well. So she has both right side by side, all on her webpage.
That's great.
So Business Hangouts gives you an app, and that's traffic coming to your website. And all the comments and stuff are all right there. Everything's together. Nothing does this effectively and efficiently as this does. Has a nice white background like her website. So she can, you can go back and see past shows. You can click on the same thing, one of these, and say, oh, man, I really wanted to know about changing something from a cereal box, or whatever. I can click on that one and go into that one and do the exact same thing. But it's really nice because that can play, and I can make that so everybody can hear it, probably. You can hear it now?
Wonderful show we call Crafted Live. I have been joined by...
Who knows who actually visits and who rewatches the old stuff as well, right?
Mm-hmm. What's that? Yeah, absolutely. So I can leave a comment right here. I can leave a comment, and this is another thing that's really, really cool about this in the comments. I can say, Heather went back and watched, because I did. Oops. And I can say, cool show. And I put that comment in there. Now she has that comment in from me. She can set it up. I'm sure she has it set up. She probably just got an email that said, hey, Michael Daniels came in here. He left this comment. Click join to go join him right now. So she can actually come in and join me. I mean, that's just amazing.
So cool.
Michael, what's the name of that business app?
BusinessHangouts.com.
So it's within Business Hangouts?
Mm-hmm. It's just an app. Yeah, we actually have it in here. It's the three little headed guy on the left-hand side, the little green circle on the left-hand side. One of the apps over there.
Ooh, thank you.
Andrea, you were in the Hangout last night that Andrew did, right?
I was, yeah.
That was a Business Hangout.
That was, yes.
Mm-hmm. That's it. There's just a lot of options. There's a lot of stuff you don't have to do that you have to do on a regular Hangout to pull in comments. You gotta go get a reshare. You gotta do all this different kind of stuff. Then then it's separate. Then it's all that kind of stuff. But this, you can have it all right on your website. You cannot put a Google event on your website. You bring them into Google Plus. Well, if they're not Google Plus people, it's going to be hard to do all that. I mean, they can still see it. They just won't be able to comment unless they sign up for Google Plus. They can still see it.
There's only 10 spaces on the film strip. Is that right?
Sure.
Yeah.
But I wasn't in the film strip just then on her. Anybody can watch. You could have 10,000 watch.
Okay. And the film strip is interchangeable, so one person can go in, the other can come out?
Yes.
Yeah.
Really? Okay, good.
And if you know how to do it,
actually,
I'll be learning.
And Michael does. You can link to Business Hangouts and have 20 people in the film strip.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So what I'm
don't try that at home. Okay.
In terms of doing expert interviews, it can really be structured. Scheduling it, you can structure it according to convenience, and it doesn't have to be done live.
It doesn't have to be done live. A Hangout on air is meant to be live.
Okay.
It's on air. It's meant to be live.
Yes.
I mean, is that answering your question? I mean, make sure.
Well, it is answering my question, but the purpose is to just gain the credibility of the person's platform, because they share my philosophy. There's a collaboration there.
Yeah.
So what I'm really looking for is more viewers to increase my platform.
Here's what I say. You can do a video with an expert and go put that on Facebook. No Hangout, no nothing. Anybody can do a video like that and go do that.
Right.
What are you going to get out of that? Where's the collaboration and the engagement and all that? Where a Hangout, I can do a Hangout or a business Hangout like you just saw, get those people involved in it, not even from inside the film strip. Just leaving a comment and me bringing that comment up on screen. That's engagement, and people will want to come back. People want to be seen.
True.
They love to have their, oh my God, he put my comment up on screen. I do that. I catch myself doing that. I'm like, Mia Voss just put my comment up on screen. That's awesome. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just something about that. You know what? I'll probably go watch her show again. It's just encouraging and that's why Andrew knows this about me. When we do the game shows, and Mark, you know, I mean, all you guys that have been on the game show, I put every comment up there if I can. I will scroll through every single comment and put it on screen. And people keep coming back because they know that I'm going to put it on there. And then we talk about it and say, oh, he got it first, or he got this, and, you know, the answer right, and all that kind of stuff. So people want to be on screen.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
If they can't be on screen, at least my comment got there. So it's really a cool thing. I mean, I think that engagement.
And we can practice if you want to, Andrea. If you can just call me and we can do a video call. You know, business hangout video call. That's all I do with it currently. And we can.
Oh, that's what you're doing with it?
Just as a regular video call. I don't think I've recorded more than one or two for business practice. So you can get to, you know, you can learn what I do, and you know that 50 cents will get you a cup of coffee, basically.
Right.
You know.
The other thing that's really an advantage is we've been here 40 minutes. We've talked about 6 or 7 different things. You can't do that on a Facebook platform or a Twitter platform. You can bring a group of panelists in, your people who are experts, and you can kind of let that conversation go where it goes. One of the best hangouts I moderated was on what makes a good hangout, and I invited 5 people in and just let them go. 5 people that have been doing hangouts, and it was a lot of fun. And I had to stop it after an hour because I'm sitting there thinking nobody's going to want to watch 2 or 3 hours of this. But when you in this format, you can throw stuff out there, just like we're waiting for Lon to bring the rest of the wine. Okay.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
You know, it's just it's so diverse.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, I'm not too thrilled about even the hangouts that are talking head shows, where they just have an expert on there and just go through their thing. I don't really care for those. I don't watch a lot of them anymore. I'm like, okay, great, woo, yay, all right, social media, whatever, who cares? I mean, give me something where we can engage and talk about and converse and bring it out on the table and have like things, you know. That's what, you know, when communities first came out, they had a hangout button inside the community. Wow. So you could start a hangout inside the community, and anybody in that community could come in and join you. Mm-hmm. It was great. I don't know why they did away with it, but it was fantastic. Because you could have up to 10 people. We could all sit there and chat. I know I was part of the language community where they had Spanish, and I would go in and just I'd say, hey, I'm talking Spanish, boom, and then put a post out there and click join, and they would people just come in. We all start talking Spanish. I mean, it was just we practiced our Spanish. I mean, it's just that was ideal.
I love that.
Yeah. See, that's the kind of thing. Hey, listen, I mean, I do it in our community, user to user. I do it all the time. I put a post out there. Hey, I'm in. I'll be here till about 10. Anybody want to come in and chat with me? Come chat with me. And people stop by and chat or whatever. You want to learn something or you just want to talk? I mean, either way, I think that's the key and that's an important thing, I think, especially with communities.
I put my crown on. I'm not Mia Voss, but I'm not going to put a tiara on. So
appreciate that too.
Yeah. So I thought when you mentioned her, I put my crown on. Okay. 2 things. First of all, Michael, I do use Talking Head Hangouts on air for a specific purpose, and I do some teaching and training with university students, and I will tell them I'm going to do a Hangout on air about social media marketing, and I'm going to put a PowerPoint presentation up, and it's going to be available on YouTube, and you guys watch it between now and the next time we get together. Okay? So I think there's some validity. I do agree with you. I don't watch many of them unless they hold my interest. But I do use them. I think they can be a real good instructional tool.
Yeah, no, don't take that the wrong way.
I'm not. I'm just adding a counterpoint.
Sure. And I think sometimes they're great. I mean, sometimes it's entertaining. But I think the biggest point I was bringing was I like when they pull a lot of comments. If it's just two talking heads and they're going over this because they only have a half hour, I'm not as interested in that hangout as I am them making me a part of the conversation.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's where I'm going with it. You know what I'm saying? But I agree. If it's a topic I want to know about, right. Like if I'm really interested in LinkedIn and this guy's an expert on LinkedIn, I'll probably give 30 minutes and watch that and go through it. Yeah, that's a talking head one that I want to.
Especially if
a lot of them are the same. A lot of them are the same.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're doing an active demo,
and 15 people different, you know.
Yeah, that's fine. But if they're just sitting there talking to each other, not doing screen shares, not doing, that kind, to me that gets old in a hurry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's got a pre-planned direction, and they never vary from it, so you're not getting that.
I think a lot of people are afraid to be candid. You know what I'm saying? There's a fear of being candid, I think the best example that somebody that does a lot of hangouts that I've seen is Guy Kawasaki. Now he doesn't give a damn. He does not care. He will say whatever comes to his mind and whatever. Now, so I think he does a lot of things that I wouldn't necessarily agree with, but he's an example of being candid, and which is the opposite of the talking head thing. That's cool. I like that.
Right. No, I see that, but it's the same thing every single time you watch a Guy Kawasaki.
Maybe it is. I haven't seen him in a while, so
I've seen like 15, 20 of them.
Okay.
And I'm done. I get it now. Okay, I got it. I mean, that's all my point was, is that, everybody has them on as a guest. It's like David Amerlin and all that. And we are live, so I have to be careful talking about people, but I'm really not talking about them.
I love you, Mia Voss.
We love you, David.
Yeah.
He is the best.
My only point is that, okay, I get it. I get what you're saying. That's cool, Brad. Let's go on and get something else of interest that, that interesting stuff. I don't need to see the same old.
Yeah, and that's why I keep bringing up the community thing. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you can't just add people to a community. They have to either join themselves or request to join, right? Well, there's your biggest difference between Facebook and Google+. I've got groups on Facebook. I'll just add people to the group, because I think they might be interested. I know they might be, and that platform is different. So I'm adding people to the group, and I got like 1,000 of them in one group, and it's pretty good for dialogue. But I like this better, where you have to either ask to join. Excuse me. Go right ahead. I have that effect on people.
You ran them off.
I'm glad, Andrew. I'm glad you liked my joke about Facebook. It's true though, all these people that I didn't like in high school are now sending me friend requests. I mean, I didn't like you in high school, and I think part of it is because I went K-12 in one school district. You know what I'm saying? So I have a lot of people from the back in the '60s and whatnot that, through the whole algorithm or whatever it is, but yeah, it's interesting how there's some good things about Facebook and good things about Google Plus.
Hold on, is Mark still talking? Hold on, I'll be right back.
Mark, are you saying that is it a Facebook group that you're just adding people to?
Yeah.
Or is it Google Plus?
No, Facebook. Okay, there's a Facebook.
Oh, okay, but we can't do that on Google Plus, right?
No, and I think
I want to convert my list
That's
But it
probably the
seems like
most
a
important.
really extensive process to do that.
Yeah, and with inviting people too. I mean, Michael always tells us, be careful. You don't want to bother people too much, and spam, this kind of thing. To make sure because a lot of people don't want to get emails. And I think it was Andrew that taught me, or maybe it was Michael. Never hit that send an email to everybody, email notification when you're in your Gmail. There's that little check, because that just fills up somebody's inbox full of stuff. But that's cool that the communities are you have to opt in. Cool. Thank you.
Yes.
I was, Michael, you were mentioning about the Hangouts and back when they started, and I was talking to somebody Saturday afternoon. Actually, had a wonderful 2-hour conversation with somebody that was here at the beginning, and he was telling me they would have 23, 24-hour Hangouts where some people would never leave. And there was just this flow of people coming in and out of the Hangout, and just trading ideas, and hey, I found this out, and this is how this works, and everything else, and I thought that was pretty neat.
Well, and it all Hangouts. There's a couple of reasons that Hangouts even started. One was to collaborate across seas and be able to talk to their kids, or whatever. If they were across seas and they wanted to talk to their kids at night, that was one option. The other thing is Vic Gundotra, who started Google Plus, his wife, even though her son was upstairs studying and stuff like that, she wanted to be social, so he set up a Google Hangout to where he was studying, she was doing her thing, but they were able to just kind of like being in the same room.
Oh,
That's how it all started and stuff. So, right before Vic left, his last Google I/O that he did, it's a great I/O if you get a chance to go back and watch it.
What does I/O mean?
Input output. It's a Google apps. It's for people that write apps for Google. They have this big thing that they do every April, I believe it is, or maybe March, and they go over all the new things coming out and stuff like that. It's really cool. Just, if you get a chance, go back and look at it. But he said that, and you guys don't have to watch. If you watch it, you'll correct me. But I think it was something like 30,000 phone calls a day, video Hangouts. They don't even have a phone system. 30,000 video phone calls a day that they make. That's incredible. I mean, and they eliminated their phone system because you can use your Hangout as a phone system. Google Voice has it already connected through. So I just thought that was really interesting. They bypassed the whole phone company. Basically.
Or founded their own.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's internet based, but still, I mean, I it was really, really interesting. There's some really cool stuff and how it came about, and what the reasoning behind it was, and what they were doing, and that's why it's fascinating for me. I always try and I'm interested in the Hangouts that people are trying to do with it. Just anybody. Oh wow, that is so cool. Sarah Hill with her Veterans United, giving some of those guys that just can't leave. They can't go, and they can't go see their veteran memorial, or they can't. The one guys that wanted to go see Pearl Harbor, he couldn't go, so they did a virtual tour on a Hangout where he could sit there and interact with the people that were walking around with him, and just, I mean, that is huge. I mean, that's just huge. The one photographer, I remember photography, when Vic was into photography too, so there's a huge photography communities. And the one guy, he got on a riverboat and did a full Hangout from the riverboat while he was going down, taking pictures. He'd take snapshots while he was in the Hangout too. And then those Hangouts would show up. I mean, those photos would show up in the thread of the event of the Hangout. Now tell me that wasn't cool. For people going down this river or this thing or wherever he was going and taking a picture, those are the things that are just, to me, are extremely fascinating. Just like Ronnie doing the South by Southwest thing when he's down at doing the interview kind of thing. Me on a baseball field doing live Little League baseball for these parents. This Christmas, I resent it out, that link, to all those parents and said, look, you guys can share this with your grandparents. If you have a Chromecast, you can put it on your TV and watch these games of when your kid won the state championship or whatever. So, I mean,
That's cool.
that's, to me, is the cool thing that Hangouts can give everybody.
Yeah. Thank you.
Let me ask another question. I'm going to completely switch gears.
Go ahead.
Andrew,
Mm-hmm.
is the user-to-user clothing going to be available in 2015 for purchase?
Actually, if you go to
Just put the post in the...
inkpixie.com,
Okay.
you can get, they've got a whole line of t-shirts, sweatshirts, everything that have all different things that you can have put on it.
Okay.
This hoodie was like, I think it was $39.95 if I
That's not
right.
bad at all.
No, and the baseball hat was $19.
Okay.
So it's available if you want it to say user to user, or it can say, Timbuktu or bust or whatever you want to say. Because my sister, she gets these mailings, all right? Her last name is Estep, her married name, and it's got like Estep University, Estep Farm, Estep Brewery, and I thought it was just names. And she said, I didn't get you one because you're a hatchet. I said, well, I can get my own. I went over there and then found out that you don't pick from a list of names. You get to put in whatever you want. They've got different sayings, and you can put in the thing, So I just put in user to user, and it took it. So all of a sudden, I've got me a broadcast uniform,
There you go.
Yeah, now I could have them take the order, up the price to make a little profit, and then sell them back to you. But I don't like being a middleman.
Yeah.
I got too much in my middle right now anyway. I'm trying to...
I tell you, we're lucky this is on the internet. I've got a flu right now and 101 fever. Oh,
goodness.
But I just wanted to come on and say hi. Well, it's not your fault.
No, I know that, but I'm still sorry.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. No, I appreciate your concern. Thank you, Michael. But I definitely wanted to. I wanted to say thanks to you guys for everything. I mean, it's been a great 6 months for me, and I'm really looking forward to this year. And you guys are just so attentive and so friendly too. I mean, I just can't tell you how much I appreciate it.
I have to agree with you. I feel the same way, and Andrew came up with the concept of it. So we never really knew how it would take off either. Whether we would have one member or
Well, I came up with something that I thought was kind of when you have people over to your home when you're not home, you know what I mean? And I've made a lot of friends on Google Plus that I would trust in my house when I'm not home. And right or wrong, but I get that that feeling like I've really made some people friends with people that it's not the same thing on the other platforms. No way.
No,
it's
not.
Much more personal. And probably isn't that a great way to judge it? Would you let somebody in your home when you're not home? Yeah.
Not Andrew, because he'll eject me.
Your home does not have an eject button.
Oh, you don't know my home.
I see.
No,
he is never going to let me forgive him.
I don't want to take the chance that Andrew would, so he's not allowed at my house. So no, don't trust him. Do not trust him at all.
If Michael knew I was coming down to his house, he'd move the whole town, not just his house. He'd move the whole town.
Andrew's having fun.
Here we move. Sorry about that. No, I'm
She's having fun with business hangouts, Michael.
Oh,
Good for you. Hey, I did it. I like it. It's cool.
It is really cool. It's a neat thing.
Yeah.
Just easier, in my opinion.
Seems like it.
They just simplify it.
Yeah, it's like anything. It's like learning to drive a stick shift.
Right.
Yeah. Just once you learn it, She's having fun with the buttons. I can see it in her face. It's cute. You like the map? You see where you can see us all in the map? You like that?
She won't be able to see that because we're not in there with her. You have to
Okay,
in
cool.
the Business Hangout app and for everyone.
All right. Well, anyway, everybody, have a nice evening. Good to see you.
You're the same, sir.
Good to see you too. Hope you feel better.
Feel
Thanks
better.
very much.
Yeah.
Talk to you soon.
He must have caught Sandra's flu because she was feeling poorly last night. Oh, Sophie, be quiet.
So that's
And
another,
I just
that's
want to
another
thank you
benefit.
so much for creating this community, because I've searched for a long time trying to find a way of getting my message out in a big way, and this gives me exactly what I'm looking for.
Well, I'm glad.
Thank you.
Well, that's what we wanted it to do. We didn't know whether we'd be able to do it or not, because like Michael said, we didn't know whether the thing would take off at all.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I'm pleased with the way it's come out. You know, it didn't grow too fast. When it got started, it stayed small enough, long enough for the people to really get to know each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know, rather than all of a sudden you have 500 people show up in a week. You know, it just sort of steadily grows, and you know, it does nicely. I'm very proud of what it's done. You know, of course, it wouldn't have done anything without the members. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. You have your own television show on the web.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about parking. You don't have to worry about getting through to a gatekeeper. You don't have to worry about any of these things that normally you would do with dealing with the media. It's incredible.
Yeah. Well, you know, in this case, the community is the media. You know, so it's all self-contained right there. You know,
It is.
the only thing we are dependent on is Google keeping the Hangout platform going.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing that we are dependent on. You know, we're not dependent on you know, press coverage or any of that stuff. And quite frankly, I don't want to be. I don't want a community of 60 or 70,000 people. When a community gets that big, you can't know your community members.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not enough. And like I told somebody the other day, you know, how can I grow? You know, get my numbers up? I said, totally, it's not a numbers game. Numbers don't mean a thing. You can have a very active community of 25, and you can have a community of 100,000 that there's no engagement at all on.
Oh, yes, I've seen that.
Yeah, you know, it's really up to, you know, the people that you get in the community.
I belong to a LinkedIn group, and I didn't realize this till the other day, has 697,000 members in the group.
Oh my God.
And I left the group because there's just no potential for engagement there. Okay?
Wow.
People kind of come in and they post articles and they'll post white papers and stuff like that, but there's no real engagement. And I was in there the other day and I was kind of cleaning up my mailbox and I looked up in the right-hand corner. It said 697,000 people, and I thought, holy cow, I don't know that I know 697 people. Okay.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's good about this community is and I'll just tell you my story briefly, how I got involved in this. Andrea, I don't know if you've met Rain Dow yet or not.
No.
Okay. And Rain was in, and this makes a good point about communities. Rain and I were in a community together, and I posted something, and I didn't know, I had the little box checked about sending an email with your posting. Okay.
Right.
So I sent a couple out, and about a day or two later, she sent me a very nice response, and she said, "I've got enough junk in my email box. Would you please not send that to me because it's spam?" Okay.
Ooh.
And I didn't know that, okay? And we kind of went back and forth, and she said, "Well, are you familiar with the user-to-user community?" And I said, "No, I'm not." And then she said, "Well, here's what you do, and there's this really sweet man that's the moderator, and he'll give you permission to join the community." And so that came from being in another community with her.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, most of the people that are in the community came from referrals from other people that were in other communities and found this. Basically, the word spread once I did the Mastery Hangout chat group. And I got that member. That group only grew to, I think, at the most we had 50 people in it at one time. But then you had to be in Ronnie's group to get in that, and so people who weren't, they wanted to know about Hangout too. So I just started one where anybody could talk about them. And those people and Ronnie were kind enough to say, if here's this community, you can go over there and they're good, And it just sort of took off. Like I say, Michael and I weren't, because basically I started my first community just so that people would have a place to practice what they were learning in Ronnie's mastery group.
Wow.
Yeah. And then it grew to be a place where everybody could practice either Hangouts or Business Hangouts. Yeah.
That's how I found this group too. I was invited to Ronnie's mastery group as a free member for I think a month or something like that. That's where I heard about this group.
Yeah, Ronnie's been quite supportive. I'm very happy that he has been, because I consider him a good friend, and I didn't want to do mastery stuff outside the mastery community and step on toes where, why should I give away for free something he's getting paid to do? And if anybody really wants to really learn about Hangouts and dive really deep, that mastery membership is the best $37 or $47, but I forget what it is now. But it's the best money you'll ever spend as far as educating yourself about Hangouts on air. Yeah. Somebody asked me the other day, said, "Are you still a member?" I said, "I'll be a member of Ronnie's mastery group as long as he has one." To me, it's one of the most invaluable resources, on the net if you want to do Hangouts.
Yeah, and the key is staying abreast of everything too. That's what's nice about it. He always keeps you current with everything. Like tomorrow, the first Wednesday of every month, he does a thing for the new people. And I talked him into doing that, which is kind of the concept I have for this. Our community, what we'll be doing, setting up a beginner week and then an intermediate week, and then that's what we talked about. I think we're going to go that route, so we'll see what happens.
Oh, yeah, because I've got dozens and dozens and dozens of potential slide layouts that you need to see that I've been working on while you've been on vacation.
Yeah.
Did I say vacation? I'm sorry.
If that's vacation, I was in hell.
I'm sorry.
All right, no.
Why?
Yeah.
One thing I'm really interested in is I want to see this new Hangout product that Ronnie's talking about. I am dying to know what's in it.
No one's talking.
Yeah, no.
What is it?
And they should, quite frankly, they shouldn't be. They should wait for his announcement. But I do wish I was well on the wall.
Yeah.
Oh, I tell you what, we're going to stay and we're going to talk, but I don't see any sense in recording any more of this. We're just going to be chatting. There's nobody else out there.
Is Richard still out there?
He says Richard's last post was at 7:56, and it's 8:05. and it was about Michael's game shows.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't think there's that many people out there actually, because there's been very, very, very few comments, and everybody that's commented is in here now except for Richard.
Right.
You've got mail.
Hey, I got mail about that.
Who? What? Where? When?
Blast from the past there.
That is a blast from the
real.
past.
Okay, y'all, I'm going to sign off. Thank you so much. This was a great evening.
Listen, anytime you need help, got questions, just let us know.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
You bet. Have a good one, Andrea.
See ya.
Bye, you too.
Bye.